Are you looking for a way to help your brick-and-mortar business drive more traffic and increase your sales? Look no further than the Receipt Paper Podcast. In this podcast, Joanne and Kyle provide their sage advice on how to make your brick-and-mortar store the hottest spot in town. Whether you're just launching a new business or trying to grow an existing one, these informative episodes will leave you inspired. In each episode, Joanne and Kyle take on a different topic related to running a successful business. They offer practical tips based on their own experience as owners of multiple brick-and-mortar locations. So whatever challenges you're facing, they have actionable advice for you. From finding a location and executing your build-out, to merchandising and customer experience, to sales and marketing, Joanne and Kyle have you covered. With helpful advice from these experienced entrepreneurs, you are sure to learn how to increase your sales and have your business running out of receipt paper in no time. Let's dive right in.
Welcome back to episode number 31 of the Receipt Paper Podcast. My name is Kyle Strubing. I am here with my lovely business partner, life partner, all-around great gal, Joanne Strubing. Jojo, baby, how are we doing today?
We are good. Thanks for the great gal comment. Never gets old. We are excited. We had a fun Black Friday.
Yes.
It was definitely exciting. We are still running our promotion. We do a service-based promotion of buy two, get two free. It's been doing wonderful.
Yep.
For our services. So we in that at the end of the year. So I'm excited to see how that wraps up. But so far it's been pretty good. I think every year our email list gets bigger, our contact list gets bigger, and you really see that reflected in our sales numbers. And so I think for those of you out there that maybe are just starting out, know that every year, if you are collecting that customer data, it is so valuable and it will only increase year over year, right?
Yeah, that goes back to what was this last episode or the episode before that where we talked about collecting data. And now is the time when that stuff pays off.
Yeah.
You know, your network is your net worth. Did I get it right that time?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yeah. No. But it's it starts to grow and things just gets a little. I don't want to say easier, but it's more. You just build it up, keep building it up, and if you neglect that, you aren't able to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Start early, start often, and definitely make that a priority for sure.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for today's episode. If you are listening to today's episode, you most likely don't have a brick and mortar business just yet, or you're looking to go back and revalidate your brick and mortar business idea. So today we're going to be talking about whether or not a brick and mortar business is right for you and your idea, to really help you validate your business idea to make sure that you are set up for long-term success in your market and long-term success in your personal life, to make sure that it's a good fit for you personally, because both of those things are extremely important when going into a brick and mortar business, right?
Yeah, and this isn't, these are guidelines here per usual. It's not something drop dead here. We want to, just kind of make sure you're on along the right path, but also give you some tools to get the ball rolling, right?
Yeah.
To get the ideas flowing. And once you kind of get, you know how it is, once things start going and you build some momentum, then you can kind of figure out either way. But this was something that we did, and it just proved what we were looking to do.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be critical. It's not meant to say, hey, you should do this. It's not anything definitive. It's meant to help you brainstorm and meant to help you kind of just see that you're along the right path.
Yeah, and I think there were some gaps in our plan and what we were looking to do, and we didn't even know that they were there until we started doing some of these things. But if you do these things before you're in business, they will really help you fill that in and become clear on what your business idea really needs to be into.
And then for your current businesses, it's always good to self-scout. I'm all about the sports metaphors, so you want to self-scout. That's what everybody does in their bye weeks. And Cowboys had a bye week a couple weeks ago, so they did a lot of self-scouting. That's what we do. We're all about that too.
Yeah.
So.
Before we dive into today, we have a free masterclass that is currently available. It is all about the 5 things that we wish we knew before we opened. So these are things that we had to learn the hard way, and we don't want you to learn them the hard way. So go check out this masterclass. It's completely free. You can find it at masterbrickandmortar.com. Head over there and register for that free masterclass, and you can watch it instantly.
Yeah, definitely some great nuggets in that for sure. For sure.
All right, so before we dive into our 4-part framework for validating if a brick and mortar business is right for you, we wanted to just talk about brick and mortar business owners in general. They typically fall into one of these categories. And as we say, go over these, I want you to think about which one you might be. So, number one is the 9 to 5er, the office job that knows that you are capable of more, that's looking for more, maybe excitement or passion in your day to life. Maybe you are looking for more money or just a new path rather than your corporate lifestyle. Typically, these owners are looking for a good business opportunity, not necessarily a completely new career path, maybe just a side hustle or a way to bring in some additional income. I think for us, this was us in the beginning.
Right.
We were both working full-time jobs. And we just wanted kind of an investment opportunity, something we didn't realize it was going to be, such a big one.
Yeah.
But we were looking for a side hustle. We were looking for a way to bring in some additional income. And this was us, we started looking at franchise opportunities and the rest was history from there.
Yeah, things just started snowballing from there. But yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of a lot of most of the people are in this category. This is the most common, right? You get the 9 to 5, dealing with the boss, the whole nine, and I would do it better. And this is your opportunity then to see if you can,
Mhm.
right? This was 100% us. And like Jojo said, we just started looking, moving and grooving. One thing led to the next, and here we are, 5 years later.
Mhm.
5 years later. So um, number two in these categories of business owners is going to be that something that you already offer a service or you sell a product, either out of your home or within your business, and you are kind of growing out of your business. You know that you can increase your volume if you have a physical storefront. You see this as a big opportunity to expand and to get more clients and customers. Back to that, you guys already have a store type thing, looking to expand. That's and bringing it then to and being able to differentiate, like we say, with that customer experience, things of that nature, to take your business and your brand then to the next level,
Mhm.
have that central hub, like we call it, that allows customers to come in and out, and allows you to do your business there as well.
Yeah, we've got a really awesome student in Brick and Mortar Academy, and she has an Etsy store that's been doing phenomenal. She's been selling products on there. It's been super successful, but she does feel that she's kind of capped, her volume, and she wants to expand to get a physical storefront so that she can have more brand awareness. She can offer more products. She said her house is inundated with boxes
She
and
wants her
mailing
spare.
systems. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think of her as you go over that. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have been able to validate their business idea through an online storefront or, maybe a home-based massage
Right.
services or things like that. And now they're ready to go all in with a physical storefront.
Yeah, and obviously she's going to continue doing the online stuff, but this just like I said before, kind of goes into, allows you to use it for the greater, not the greater good, but for your, you know, use it as a platform, really, is what you're doing.
Yeah. All right, so number 3, the third type of brick and mortar biz owner is someone that just always had a dream of owning a brick and mortar business. We talk to people a lot of times, they're like, man, I've always had a dream of owning a coffee shop, and this is me bringing that dream to life. Or I've always wanted to own my own diner, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's just that childhood dream in us that we are bringing to life. You've known that you've always wanted to do this. Maybe this is a dream of a family business that you want to have, serving your local community. You have this entrepreneur spirit, and this is your vision. So this is the third type that we see. So you may fit in one of these, you may fit in multiple of these, or you may not really see yourself in any of these. But I want you to think about which one you may be. One, the 9-to-5er, that's looking for an investment opportunity. 2, somebody who's already offering a service or product that you're looking to grow. Or number 3, the dreamer that's always had a dream of opening a brick and mortar business. Shoot us a DM on Instagram and let us know which one you are at Master Brick and Mortar. We love hearing from you guys. I love knowing who's listening in, and let me know which one are you and what type of brick and mortar business you want to open. All right. So if you don't feel like you fit in any of those categories, that's okay. Keep listening. We are going to dive into our 4-part framework here for how to validate your business idea. So, as Kyle was kind of saying in the beginning, the point of validating your business idea is really to feel confident moving forward, to fill in those gaps and holes that you know, maybe there, or maybe find out, challenges and obstacles that might be there that you didn't even know were going to be there, right? So this is really important. So I know it sounds simple as you go through this, but really taking the time to do each one of these steps and then take some time to think about them is really important.
Yeah, for sure. And the key here is validation too, right? A lot of times we'll go to other people that do some things along the same lines, or when we do these things, we sit there and go, I kind of have a mentality shift a lot of times because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this imposter syndrome and I don't know if we're doing this right or what. And then you go in there, you're like, oh, wait a second. We're doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to work. And it actually gets me more excited than anything else. So I don't take this as, and I'm kind of hammering on this, but don't take this as critical. Take this as definitely as validation.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. All right, so number 1 in validating your brick and mortar business idea is knowledge and expertise. Now, I want to put a caveat here. You do not need to be the expert in your product or service that you are selling. You do not need to be an expert in business administration or have a business degree. But what I want you to be evaluating here is, how are you going to be utilizing your skills and strengths? And are you utilizing your skills and strengths? And then secondly, what skills and strengths are you missing, and how are you going to fill in those gaps? So for example, if you are not an expert in your specific product that you're selling, you may want to consider bringing in a partner who is,
You
right?
gotta know at least a little bit more than the average Joe or something. Yeah, you don't, I'm an like, are we experts at what we do? I don't know. I know more than the average person.
Yeah.
I think I'm a pretty expert when it comes to the store expert. I'm pretty good at communicating what it is we do. But that's, do I have a degree in biology and everything to be communicating no, I don't. And that's not necessary. But really what it boils down to, and we'll kind of go into this, is like, are you passionate about it? Right.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. It's like, do you have a spot to stand on? Right. Like, do you have something to offer? And if you don't, that's okay too. You can learn, but it needs to come from that place. This fake it till you make it thing. Yes.
I think the idea here is to recognize what your strengths are, what you're good at, so that you can put yourself there. If it's talking to customers like Kyle, he's the front end guy, he's the customer service guy, he's the one that's really working with the customers. We knew that's what he was good at, so that's where he focuses on. For me, it's a lot more of the back end stuff, the marketing online, the payroll, the inventory,
everything else.
Yeah. So, that's where I align my skill sets. And then we realized, both of us really suck at accounting and numbers and finance, and that is not our thing. So we need to outsource this. So you got to have these conversations, and you can't do it all. You're running a small business. So
you're not going to want to do it all either. It's going to become a chore. It's going to, yeah. I mean, there is in all of this, right? No matter how much you love your business or how passionate you are, this is still work, right? Don't get me wrong. It's not, there's still tough days, but focusing on your passion, because you're going to need it. There's going to be some days where you're just going to need to lean in on your passion for sure. For sure. So,
yeah. So what I want you to do here is really lean in and maybe even do some journaling. What are you good at, and what do you want to focus on? And then how can you fill in the gaps? Does that mean you want to hire, maybe you're more of an introverted person like me and you like more of the back end stuff. So you want to hire a general manager that is like a Kyle who's super front end and really great with customers. Or maybe you actually want to partner with on this business with somebody else. Like look at your skills and expertise, see what's missing, and how are you going to fill those gaps, whether it's with employees, whether it's going out and learning the skills. You can learn to be the front end person and have those skill sets. I don't want to limit you to say you can't do something. You can go learn it,
Right.
but you need to evaluate these things before you're, all in.
Right. For sure.
All right, you want to move on to number 2, Kyle?
Yeah, number 2 is going to be market valuation. You're trying to figure out the size and the scope of where this is and see if you can fit in, right? You start there by researching your local market. Then you want to identify your competition. If there is a lot of competition, how are you going to be different? Where are you going to how are you going to set the market? How are you going to differentiate yourself? Things of that nature. Great place to start, right? We started with hemp and the cannabis thing, with CBD, and there was a ton of reports and there was a ton of information. It was a simple Google search, right? What is the size of the market that you have? And they have numbers for this and stuff. You'd be really surprised of what really is just open to the public and to sit there and see, hey, and also they'll be able to predict trends too. Is this something that's moving in a positive? Is this something that's moving in a negative? Is there expansion in this? Where can I find my niche, or where can I get in and see if this is even something that's value or something that's valid?
Yeah, a couple of things here is I don't want you to overcomplicate the market research.
No.
I want you to do some simple things. Number one is go explore your competition. Just see who's out there. Are there people out there doing the same thing that you want to do? If they are, go in and visit them. See what their experience is like.
Don't be weird.
Go check them out. Are they really excelling at something? Are they really struggling at something that maybe you can fill in that gap there? I also want you to go read their reviews, their customer reviews.
Right.
Do they have negative reviews constantly saying that their, banana bread is awful? Maybe you can really excel at the banana bread, or maybe it says their customer experience is horrible. So maybe you are going to differentiate yourself by offering that excellent customer service. So I don't look at competition and say, oh gosh, there's already a bunch there. I shouldn't open. No, I want you to look at the competition and go evaluate them and say, okay, how can I be different? How can I differentiate myself? And how can I be better?
Or cater to a different person within that market, right?
Right.
I know, like before we did the rebrand, it was a certain customer avatar that we had, and now it's a different one.
Yeah.
And maybe and we always thought we were going to be the Nordstroms of supplements, and that was something that we kind of went through, and that's something that we stuck with. But that differentiated ourselves from every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. But we saw that within the market.
Yeah.
We weren't going after the CrossFitter, da 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 da. We were going after truly the housewife, which for whatever reason, but that was the market that we were trying to capture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we saw that there was opportunity there for that as well.
Yeah. I think we noticed like all the other CBD stores around us kind of had a smoke shop vibe, a younger vibe. They were trying to find
Smoke shops selling CBD is really what it was, right?
Yeah. And, we wanted to say, hey, we want to hit a different demographic. There's people out there that want CBD that don't want to walk into a smoke shop. So,
Right.
another thing that I want you to do is survey your either current customers, for those of you who are a home-based business. Ask them, hey, would you want to see me inside of a physical storefront? Would you come visit me inside of a physical storefront? How would that benefit you? Ask them those things. But also, go post on local groups. There's local Facebook groups, there's the Nextdoor app. Go post out there. This is going to be great for generating some early excitement and buzz around your brand and you. But also, this is great to say, hey guys, I'm, considering opening a parrot food shop. How many of you out there own parrots and would, what would you like to see in a parrot food shop? I'm going with an extreme
Right.
measure here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. People will give you feedback. They
Right.
want to, and they will show you that excitement. Or they will say, "Oh my gosh, I'm driving 2 hours right now to get parrot food, and now it would be great." Or they'll say, "You know what? I find mine online, but if you had X, Y, and Z, and you also did parrot nail trims, I would totally come in there." Just
Well, yeah.
so then you'll realize, okay, maybe there's a gap here that I need to expand my offerings a little bit.
Or they say, hey, look, I go to Pete's Parrot Paradise all the time or whatever, and I'd never go anywhere else. Well, then that might be your competition. I mean, that's your competition. That might be somewhere that you want to go and check out.
Yeah.
Might be somewhere you want to frequent that you never, it's all an information. Don't get discouraged by it. Even though Pete's Parrot Paradise is absolutely killing it, I'm sure.
I come up with some better examples.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is like a lot of times people are scared to kind of reach out for that because you don't know what you're going to get. But whatever it is, whatever information you get is going to be the status of the market, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
For sure. So
You can get some really, really good insight here. So, put yourself out there. Go ask people. They want to share and they are excited. People they get excited
Yeah.
about small businesses and the potential for things. And you have something that people need, whether it's a product or a service or an experience. People will be excited about it. So
and within the industry too, like within your industry's specific industry Facebook groups and groups of that nature too, like those are gold as well, right?
Yeah.
Like do a post like, hey, thinking about opening in Dallas, Texas. Before you open, what are some things you would have
Yeah.
considered? Is this what things of that nature? So
Yeah.
that really helps.
That's actually perfect for our next one because number 3 is your industry research. And I want you to do what Kyle said here, set aside 30 minutes to go find those industry Facebook groups.
Right.
Go find those industry YouTube channels or podcasts or, anything that's industry related that you can consume easily. I don't want you to think you just have to go find these really in-depth hard to read trade publications and market reports. I mean, if you're into that, go for it. I'm sure you can find a lot of insight there. You might also just want to jump on GPT and say, hey, give me some insights on this industry, although I've heard you got to fact check sometimes with ChatGPT, but I want you to see what can you do for your industry that's actually easily consumable for you. Podcasts, YouTube channels, Facebook groups, maybe there's some local networking groups. Look up trade shows. We did a lot of trade shows in the beginning and we really learned a lot. We connected with a ton of people in our industry. We were able to set ourselves apart as experts in our industry. We wound up speaking at some of those trade shows after a year. So, these things are really, really important to get involved in within your industry and do it early.
Another thing I will say with this too is think too with this. One thing that when we started, we didn't realize what industry we were truly in, right? We didn't know necessarily that we were in the wellness industry. We thought we were just in the CBD industry. And one thing that it really, we kind of limited ourselves, but it allowed us to kind of think a lot broader and figure out where our opportunities were more so than just our core product.
Yeah.
So it was, so go into that wellness, or if you're, a bakery or what have you, like that's food or what you get what I'm saying though.
Don't limit yourself.
Limit yourself. Don't niche yourself. I mean, you want to niche yourself, but as far as a fact gathering thing, like think big. And all the information is not all great information, but you can still find, and it'll help you to kind of brainstorm that idea as well.
Yeah, that's so true. When we started branching out and exploring the wellness industry, we started finding services and all these offerings and experiences, and then other products that we were able to bring in to meet our customers' needs,
Right.
which was feeling better and not just they're getting the new latest and greatest CBD product,
Yeah.
and that was really kind of holding us back, right? And so yeah, that's so true. If you are in, a restaurant, like what about entertainment industry?
There you
Maybe you
go.
can expand out there and see, you know, what else can I offer that might entertain and delight my customers other than just the food I'm selling? Or,
Right.
yeah, like don't be afraid to think. I love that. Think
Yeah.
big. Yeah,
Think big for sure. For sure. You can always come down but it's that stuff like that was really exciting for us because it validated what we were trying to do.
yeah.
Honestly.
All right, you want to do number 4, Kyle? This
Number
is your
4.
bread and butter here.
Oh, really? The excitement factor. Okay. I guess I'm the excitable guy here, huh? So with this, right? Obviously, it's kind of self-explanatory here, but if this doesn't get you going and you're not excited about this, move on, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like you're gonna have to be excited about it.
yeah,
You really are. Are you listening to, even if you want to get into a business or you're looking for whatever idea or whatever, one thing I say is like, and you touched on this before, like with the podcast, like, when you wake up, do you think about this? When you listen to podcasts, do you think about this? Are you taking on, what content do you take in? And maybe you're not, maybe you just think it's a certain way or whatever, but you need to really have, maybe not be an expert like we said per se, but you want to definitely have that passion because 2 years in, when it's a random Tuesday and you don't want to get up, you're going to need to lay
yeah,
on that passion because no one else is going to be there to motivate you.
yeah.
You're just not.
Yeah, I mean, do you enjoy talking about this product or service? Do
Yeah.
you, or do you enjoy the back end part of it? Make sure that you are going to be enjoying this because I think one of the biggest, most beautiful benefits for us of owning a brick and mortar business is we have found more joy in our day-to-day lives, but it's because we're doing something that we enjoy, that
Right.
excites us. We enjoy the wellness industry. We enjoy helping other people and helping them feel better. We enjoy exploring new biohacking services. Like this is something we're passionate about.
Right.
We enjoy, so we can continue to get excited. But last night I was just looking at some new red light therapy stuff, and like I still get excited about these new services and stuff. And so I want you to make sure this is something that excites you for a long term. I've seen people sometimes see a financially appealing opportunity like a franchise, but you know, unless you are fully just going to be behind the scenes a silent investor, you know,
You
it's
still should have some passion
yeah,
towards the
yeah.
overall goal, I would think.
I just think you'll run your business
At
better
least
if
in the
you'll
beginning, maybe, right? And a lot of this is, sorry if you cut you off, but a lot of this is, you're trying to get away. You're trying to cultivate something that I always say, I wake up before my alarm goes off because I look forward to going in there. But like, that's part of the day to day that you don't want to go back to that. You should just work for somebody, right? If you don't like it and you're not passionate about it, then it's just a job and you're back in the same
yeah,
spot that you were in before and you just invested all this money.
right.
So make sure that it's something, what do you like to do this in your free time? Like Jojo said, it's
Yeah.
very important.
And can you see yourself doing this for 5, 10, 20 years?
Right.
The idea is you want this to be a successful long-term endeavor, unless, of course, we always like the idea of growing to sell, but still, it may not be in a year from now. Like, can you see
Right.
yourself doing this for long term? That's just something you definitely want to validate.
And it can ebb and flow too, right? Like, and I think part of that, we have been I'm passionate about wellness. I like to work out. We like to take care of ourselves. We like supplements and stuff like that. That we did get a roundabout way towards that, but at the same time, like it has to be part of your life already to start.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, so let's recap the 4-part framework for validating your business idea. Number 1, knowledge and expertise. What knowledge and experience and expertise do you have? Where are you going to use those skills and strengths in your business? And where might there be a potential gap? And how are you going to fill that gap, right?
Right.
Number 2 was market valuation. So jumping in and going and vetting out your competition, going in and exploring them, looking at their reviews, jumping in on those neighborhood local community pages on Facebook or online forums or Nextdoor, great ones to just start a conversation and start validating what the needs are of your local community. And of course, if you do have current customers, sending out a survey to really understand what their needs are. Number 3, industry research. So we're thinking industry related podcasts, YouTube channels, trade shows, social groups, like Kyle mentioned. Where can you go learn about your industry and stay up to date on your industry? I think that's the big thing. You've always got to be learning and staying up to date with what's going on in your industry. You've got to lean in and make yourself the expert there. You don't have to know everything, but like Kyle said, a 10% edge, if you know a little bit more that you can inform your customers on each time.
Yeah, and I think one thing I left off on that was like legal, right? You should be able to know like legal challenges is one thing, and then also like what's the cost of your raw materials too might be something you want, if you're doing something special, you should know kind of along the supply line of what, where things are. So that was one thing I think we kind of left off there. I wanted to throw in,
true. For us, a huge value of being in a lot of those online forums was to know what was happening in our legal side. Yeah.
Right.
All right. And then number 4 was the excitement. Does this light you up? Is this something you can see yourself doing long term that brings joy to your day-to-day life? I hope that this has helped you see where you can validate your idea to fill in those gaps and make sure your business is set up for long-term success, not only for profitability, but for you and your personal life. It's so important to take the time to do this. And I really hope that you do so. Don't forget to check out our free masterclass all about the 5 things that we wish we would have known before we opened our brick and mortar business. A lot of great insights in that masterclass. You can go find that at masterbrickandmortar.com and get registered for that there. Any other insights today, Kyle?
Nope. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving and all that stuff. Happy holidays. It's on us.
Yes.
It's retail season, guys. So we're going to go and get at it.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Receipt Paper Podcast, your go-to source of information for starting and growing a successful brick and mortar business. Subscribe to hear future episodes and share this content so that more people can access these valuable insights. If you're looking for more resources to help you with your brick and mortar business, visit masterbrickandmortar.com or follow us on Instagram at masterbrickandmortar. Thanks again for listening to the Receipt Paper Podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.